Hi guys and welcome to Motoroscotti. On the 6th of July, my fiance and I went to the UK to the Goodwood Festival of Speed. That's an event that I've been wanting to go for many years, and last Christmas my fiance got me tickets to go there, so this weekend, that weekend, we just went. I have to say, when the Brits do organize an event like this, it's just absolutely perfect. Whether you just wanted to stand next to the hill climb and watch the cars and motorcycles speed up,
His son Oliver, who's
or go to the expensively built paddocks and showrooms of the car manufacturers, or just grab some drinks and food and just walk around and see some of the other experiences or world areas that are set up on the estate. It's just amazing. Like, it's something for everyone. And also, we were really lucky. We went on the Saturday, 6th of July, and the weather was just perfect. I think we had about 23, 24 degrees. And the next day we left and it was raining in the morning. So we were really lucky to go on a Saturday. Really nice program, beautiful weather, perfect. So enough talk. Let me show you a little bit of what we've seen there. And let's start with Jags. At Porsche weren't quite as exciting. I'm usually a big fan of Porsche, but more when they are on the street and not so much off-road. I wouldn't queue up for that.
Yeah, the Jaguar one sounds so much more fun.
One of the big highlights for me was the special F1 tribute to Michael Schumacher. They brought all kinds of race cars that he had driven from the late 80s before he went to the Formula One, up to the first Formula One cars, all the way up through the 90s and to 2004 Ferrari that he had driven. For me, that was a really special, exciting bonus. They brought older cars, old F1 cars, and even newer F1 cars that they drove up the hill climb, which it's cool, but it was just nice to see, to kind of relive up close the experience of the Schumi era F1 of the late 90s and early 2000s.
That was the car Schumacher first scored points in. This was the car Schumacher first scored a win in. T2, and so this was Schumacher's first test in a Ferrari. Formula 1 car, at least.
We then walked up to the off-road area where you could either have a passenger ride in a buggy or go further up to the rally paddock and watch them just jump over the hills, up and down, and see them work on the cars in the paddocks.
He's a proven, very consistent. He's got a finish, he's got a strategy of driving.
Is she? Oh my god, so well, what a team change around. There we go. This is what I love.
And after some drinks and food, we went back to the track to watch the supercar shootout. That's just an amazing thing to be so up close and see them go full throttle up the hill, because I've seen many of these cars in city centers or in showrooms, but I mean, and they're cool, but it's something different when you're just next to them and you can just see them fly by.
Has gone the fastest as more McLarens pour up the hill.
And is this the P1 Pagani?
Yeah, this is the Pagani. Used to means track in Italian, firing not standing still, like this GTC Ford looks like lovely.
And you said you could sit in the back of this one, and you're 6 foot or so.
T4 Lisset that we just saw. This is the Ford Lamino, which is entry level around 600 horsepower. So,
yes, that kind of entry level.
yes.
What's just
SB battery aspirated V12. It's, as far as I'm aware, a one-off special edition based on Ford Zara, personally.
yeah, that's actually right.
So Ferrari have actually uplift the power
Yeah. But it's fabulous. Andrew Jordan has been driving across the weekend.
And just a few stats on the M8. 4.4
Example of the Singer. 911.
This is officially
From Valisa. That's nice.
it's a fabulous drive as well. I'm very, it's tremendous. Horseman for him.
Absolutely right, yes.
This, the 911 GT2 except dialed up with a bit of Moby Dick 77.
So, here in the 49.
GTR Roadster, which is essentially the soft top derivative of fun, really. But how about that for some German V8 Thunder?
For the AMs, but the GT market, the supercar market, but far from it.
The Denvo TSR.
Which was here last year.
Honda NSX.
Yeah, this is a fabulous little car.
Quick enough.
It certainly is flying up the hill. I mean, I think GT4
British GT racer, former stock car racer, in fact, a long time ago.
5.2 litre naturally aspirated.
And of course, it's quick as well. It's really what you need in an SUV.
It really is.
Now, where do we go next?
So this is the
Middle-aged man's car. But now I think
aiming for a much younger market. The number of that car, and this is the LFA V10 supercar.
another motor racing link here, isn't there? Because Porsche coming in. So the technology thing on the road.
All in all, an amazing event. In between the hill climb sessions, we got a picture taken at the Waldorf Astoria, visited some showrooms such as Aston Martin, Jeep, Ford, and also got a glimpse of the brand new Toyota Supra. The inside reminds me a little bit too much of a BMW Z4, but I think that's a different story. That's been covered in other videos already. By the way, did you know that I went back in time? Well, there was this beautiful Back to the Future DeLorean replica, DMC-12 DeLorean Back to the Future replica at the Eurotunnel booth. Yes, they had a quiz there about the movie, so I eventually had to participate, and you could win some free fares between France and the UK. And then they let you just sit in the car and wander around and take as many pictures as you wanted. So, and this one, the cool thing was that it was also signed by Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown himself. So that was an amazing thing also too. That was the first time I've actually been able to sit in a Back to the Future DeLorean replica. And then before we went to the Goodwood house to look at all the famous people standing at the balcony that I had absolutely no clue about, because I was much more interested in the Ford GT40 that was parked in front of it that won the 24-hour of Le Mans in the 60s. We stopped at the Cover Car booth. Yes, Cover Car is an Italian brand that makes covers for cars, indoor and outdoor. I've been wanting to get a indoor cover for Kit since Kit came back from the paint booth. just happened to walk by this cover car booth there, and I had a look at a couple of the samples. They talked me about all the possibilities you could do with the colors and the logos on top, be it the Pontiac logo or the Firebird. Anyways, long story short, I walked around and I decided I got one from them completely black with the gold Firebird logo on the front. It's an Italian company. Take about 4 weeks for them to get it done. Well, it will really take the shape of the car and even include mirror pockets. So I'm really excited to see how the real thing is gonna look like. So wait for me to give you a review on the cover for my Firebird. Next, we walked through the classic car sections where you had all kinds of classic cars from the 20s and 30s. But then what caught my eye was the Di Tommaso Pantera GTS, like the 1973 version. There's just something about a car that's been designed by Italians and has a big American V8 in it. It's just an amazing emotional combination. Next, we went to Rolls-Royce, where they had all the cars kind of enclosed, and but they were really friendly. We arrived and they asked us whether we wanted to sit in one of the cars, and then we surprisingly said yes, and then they let us choose the cars. So we went into the brand new Rolls-Royce Phantom with the 6 3/4 V12 engine, and sit in the car and just play around. I even like touched the button to close the door, and I felt even it felt too valuable for me to just sit in and touch everything. So we had a quick glance. But the cool thing actually was that they took the time to talk to us about the cars, about what they do at Goodwood, what they do in general, all these Rolls-Royce people, and basically treated us like we were potential customers for some reason. Slowly making our way back to the car park, we first attended the Mercedes-Benz celebration, accompanied by the owner of the Goodwood estate, the Duke of Richmond.
Which is quick, 140 miles an hour, and withstand up to about 40, which is uncomfortable, 14% in the moment, like 12 next week, even more uncomfortable. But you guys are of course used to sustained high speed. The difference is, of course, that in an aerobatic aircraft there is the high speed for a second or two, whereas in the Royal Air Force, you might be up to 80 for 20 seconds, which is extraordinary. So our Mercedes cars, a number of cars that are already down there, and another.
Creating a glorious shape in the sky that links in with our charity partner this year, the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. This is the Heart. All flying back towards us. Smoke on.
On track, we've got the Virtual Brothers just coming in front of our commentary box. Gas turbine bike. What an amazing piece of kit this is. Mad Max C20C turbo bike with this next Eisenberg on board. Mad Max on the back of the leather turbine helicopter engine. It's not the first time it's been here to Goodwood. Someone give you the go ahead. Either that up, little Fiat victory on the heard, and then something different. The nitrogen gas in front at 140 cc's. Very chassis. Tom Crescent. The Mazda Rosary. Even so, the speed was always there. What a battery!
To finish our experience at the 2019 Goodwood Festival of Speed, we went back to the start-finish line and watched the last couple of cars taking off up towards the hill climb. And the most impressive thing for me back then at that time were the NASCAR cars, because that's not something that we see very often in Europe, especially not just take off like this and be so close to them. Just the noise, Just insane.
Festival very rapid here in the Euro NASCAR series. Behind is Nick Jarvis, Jeremy Smith.
Anyway, guys, Goodwood Festival of Speed, just I can highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in cars. If you have the time and the means to go there, I'd love to attend the Goodwood Revival Festival. I don't know exactly how it's called. It's when you have to dress up in all the old school 30s and 40s suits and dresses just to match the era of the cars. Bit of a different video than I usually do, like not a how-to video, repair video, but my channel is about my passion for cars and motorcycles and what I experience, and sometimes it's fixing something, sometimes it's improving something, or now at this time it's just bring you along on the ride on to see what I experienced at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And I hope that I will attend some more festivals or events in the near future, especially having kids done now. I need to show it not only on the web but also at other events. Okay guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.